the Indianapolis Colts. Guys, 2 months ago, I had them pegged for 8 wins. Why? Why, you ask? Because everything pointed to Daniel Jones being the week 1 starter. The veteran presence, they were mobile just enough, experienced enough to manage his team through a soft early schedule. But now that quarterback battle has completely flipped, and Anthony Richardson seems to be surging, and every sign is pointing to him coming out of camp being the guy. Now, that's exciting for Anthony Richardson, but it also changes a lot of expectations for me. This team will more than likely start slow with Anthony Richardson at the helm. Growing pains are inevitable with a young quarterback who still misses a good chunk of last season. But there's a path where Daniel Jones can still see the field and right the ship down the stretch, so the range is very, very wide for the Indianapolis Colts. They could have a terrible number 1 overall draft pick with the 4-win floor. But I think if they catch the right momentum, if Daniel Jones plays all 18 NFL games, this team could be a 9 or even a 10-win team. A wide range. Floor of 4 wins, ceiling of 10. But guys, let's go week by week. I'll give you my final win-loss prediction for the Indianapolis Colts of 2025. But week number 1, they're at home, taking on a highly overrated Miami Dolphins team. Guys, and the Indianapolis Colts come out strong. Miami Dolphins are still trying to figure things out between the Hill and the Tua and the Bradley Chubb. They don't know what's going on in Miami, and the Colts still won early at home, moving them to 1-0. And then back at home, week number 2, back-to-back home games to start the season is a gift, and they welcome the Denver Broncos into town. Indy rides the early momentum to start 0-2, beating down the Denver Broncos. The highly overrated Denver Broncos, I might add. Just want to put that out there. A little stab and twist. But then week number 3, everything comes crashing back down to reality, as the favorite band Smash Mouth like to says. Week 3, they travel to Nashville to take on the Titans. This is where Anthony Richardson, inexperience, might show. On the road, in the division, and rookie Cam Ward is catching fire at this particular point. The Colts dropped to 2-1 on the season when they lose to the Tennessee Titans come week 3. Week number 4, they're back on the road. Their schedule does them no favors. It's a rough travel spot and a tough opponent. Stafford and that offense exposes a young Colts defense, moving them to 2-2 on the season. But finally, week 5, they're back at home, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And they handle business against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders team, they are gritty, but they're not explosive. Guys, the Colts have jumped back above 500, moving to 3-2 on the year. But then week number 6, they play the Arizona Cardinals at home. Guys, I am in love with this Arizona Cardinals team. The Arizona Cardinals team is sneaky. Kyler Murray makes just enough plays. Marvin Harrison Jr. is back in his old stomping grounds, and Indy can't keep up with the shootout 3, dropping them to 3-3 on the year. And then week number 7, travel to LA to take on the Chargers. Herbert, Harbaugh, and the West Coast road trip, not ideal. The Colts dropped to 3-4 on the season. However, insert week 8. Insert home game. Insert Tennessee Titans. A revenge game. Indy wins the rematch and snaps the skid at home, moving them to 4-4 on the year. But then week number 9, they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. That Pittsburgh Steelers defense gets to Anthony Richardson early and often. Hell, he might even be knocked out of this game, or he might tap himself out. He's too tired to play in the fourth quarter. It's just a messy day on the road, and the Colts drop to 4-5. And then week number 10, they travel across the pond to Germany to take on the Atlanta Falcons. This neutral site game, and the Falcons are still trying to figure things out under center, a.k.a. Michael Penix Jr. is highly overrated as well. The Colts clean it up and grab a much-needed win heading into the bye week at 5-5. Now, week 11, bye week. They are 500 at this particular point. Anthony Richardson, I feel, has lost the team 100%. People have been screaming for Daniel Jones to come in since week 3. But guess what? We do not get that luxury, because week 12, Anthony Richardson is still at the helm when they travel to Kansas City and they get beat down by the Kansas City Chiefs. This is no place for a young quarterback, and the Colts drop to 5-6 on the year. And then week 13, they're back at home, taking on the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud outduels Richardson yet again, and the Texans are just further along in the rebuild than the Indianapolis Colts, dropping them to 5-7. Week 14, the losing streak continues as they travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. A tough road divisional game. The Colts just don't have the horses to hang late in the year, dropping them to 5-8 on the season. Week 15, they travel to the West Coast to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle in December, guys, is no joke. Matter of fact, Seattle at home, period, is no joke. Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, it doesn't matter. This is a tough environment, and the Colts fall to 5-9. Week 16, they are back at home. They're back at home. It's a shock to the system. Colts play loose, and the 49ers have probably overlooked them at this particular point. Indianapolis pulls off the biggest upset of the season, winning versus the 49ers, moving them to 6-9 on the year. And then that momentum continues into Week 17 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. They are still battling for a playoff position. They're still battling for the AFC South crown. This is a pride game per chance. Indianapolis plays spoilers and knocks off the Jacksonville Jaguars in a chippy divisional matchup, moving them to 7-9. Guys, they are right there. They win one more game, they get first place in the AFC South. But the Houston Texans are sitting in the same boat they're in. Win one game, you win the AFC South. Colts travel to Houston in the season finale, and the Houston Texans won it a little bit more, and they close it out strong. The Colts wrap up the season 7-10 with the loss to the Houston Texans. So, guys, I do have the Indianapolis Colts finishing 7-10 in 2025. That's just one game below where I had them 2 months ago. But, however, I feel like how they got there is the key. If Richardson starts the year and struggles, don't panic. Daniel Jones gets inserted late and they pick up steam. This team could still sneak into that 9, 10, if not 11 win range if everything clicks. But the floor is too real. If Anthony Richardson starts slow, guys, the Colts and then the Colts commit to him long-term haul, 4 wins is entirely possible. It all hinges on the quarterback position. How long is the leash for Anthony Richardson? That is the question. So, guys, in the comments down below, should the Colts roll with Anthony Richardson all year long no matter what? Or should Daniel Jones be ready to take over the season when the season starts slipping away? Guys, subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. This is a live interactive show. It's called Comment Down Below. Let's get into your comments and discuss them. There's James Frank. I haven't seen you all day, man. James Frank says, I'll say it by saying go Chubb a lot this year. James, I got a Chubb by you saying go Chubb. James Frank says, growing pains of him hearing the bench calling after he gets hit a little too hard. Mellow Mike says, Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions against us last season. Issue was the OC. Kaylee's going to fix that. This offense looks much improved. We'll see. Alpha Rob says the Colts will go 6-11. Their passing game is going to hold them back, which is tough because they have Michael Pittman Jr. He is kind of like the Larry Fitzgerald of the Colts. You want him to do well. You want him to win, go to the Super Bowl. You want him to have success. But you are right. The passing game is going to probably hold them back. Mellow Mike says Richardson or Danny Dimes. No quarterback equals no chance. Listen, Anthony Richardson does not fit what Kevin Stefanski wants to run in Indianapolis. Danny Dimes does fit that system well. Danny Dimes fits the system very, very well. Danny Dimes is a RPO pocket, roll the pocket type of quarterback. That's just who he is. So if Danny Dimes starts, Mellow Mike, your Houston Texans need to be on the lookout because they coming, baby. They coming. But Mellow and Mike and I agree. The Colts will go 7-10. That's tough, baby. That's tough. That is tough. I think we're on the same page. Texans D made Richardson tap out. He wasn't even in a octagon. Anthony Richardson is a bitch. I said it. It is what it is. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how struggle you are. I don't care if you just need a little breather, coach. Bro, it's 4th and 1. You are the quarterback of your team. If you get that first down, you win that game. If you get that first down, you're probably going to the playoffs. I'm tired, coach. I'm tired. Harbaugh